From Drop Biscuit Studios and the people who brought you Wondery's Inside Jaws, Inside The Exorcist, and Inside Psycho comes You Talking to Me? Bite-sized Hollywood history with plenty of bite. Alfred Hitchcock assaulted me. This is You Talking to Me? I'm Mark Ramsey. Alfred Hitchcock is rightly regarded as a cinematic genius, the master of suspense, the maker of more than 50 films, including such legendary titles as North by Northwest, Psycho, The Birds, and Rear Window. That's what Hitchcock was, but he was also other things. Actor Tippi Hedren was one of the legendary blondes Hitchcock was so attracted to in his films. Doris Day, Eva Marie Saint, Grace Kelly, Kim Novak, Janet Leigh, all blonde, at least temporarily, to suit Hitch. Hedren recalls Hitch's questionable, if not downright abusive behavior on the set of The Birds, her first movie and Hitchcock's follow-up to Psycho. She says he would order other cast members not to talk with her or touch her, and he would become irritated if he saw her talking to other men. She claims he once threw himself on top of her and tried to kiss her while they were traveling in his limo. The next day on set, they were filming the famous phone booth scene where Tippi's character is attacked by mechanical crows while sheltered in the phone booth. Tragically, one of the crows broke the supposedly shatterproof glass, sending shards into her clothing, her skin, even her face. She also says that in a scene where her character was attacked by birds in a bedroom, she was told the mechanized variety would not work and they would have to use real ones. That meant 5 days of filming the scene with live birds being thrown at her and attached to her body with elastic bands. She says she broke down when a bird that had been attached to her shoulder almost pecked her in the eye. She spent a week out, in bed, exhausted. So, what does any of that have to do with her rebuffing Hitch's sexual advances? Well, Hedren thinks it was all payback, revenge, punishment. Hedren was under contract to do another movie with Hitchcock, and that movie was Marnie. There's a scene where Tippi's character is raped by her new husband. She believes this was Hitchcock's personal fantasy about her. The misbehavior allegedly continued. Hitch commissioned a replica mask of her face for himself, and nowhere was such a mask needed in the film. Her dressing room was placed next to his office, and he had his own connecting door. Hedren writes in her autobiography, Hitchcock would find some way to express his obsession with me as if I owed it to him to reciprocate somehow. One day, she says, she was summoned to his office, and in her words, he suddenly grabbed me and put his hands on me. It was sexual, it was perverse, and it was ugly. She says Hitchcock grew more frustrated with her resistance and threatened to ruin her career. She says he blocked the studio when it wanted to submit her performance for an Oscar. She had 2 years remaining on her contract with him, and during that time, she says Hitch refused to allow her to take work with other directors. And because nobody in Hollywood wanted to antagonize Hitchcock, that meant her career was stalled, and it would never recover. Studios and their A-list directors had the power. There were no laws, there was no Me Too, that was then, this is now. If this had happened today, she says, I would be a very rich woman. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening right now, and please give us a 5-star rating. This is You Talking to Me. I'm Mark Ramsey.